Let us understand the magnetic field produced by current through a circular loop of a conducting wire. We just learned about the magnetic lines of force of a magnetic field produced by a current flowing through a straight conductor. What will happen to the magnetic lines of force of the field produced by a current flowing through a loop made by bending the straight wire? Loop is like a circular design. So look at the diagram. Now there is a circuit. You can again see there is a resistance, there are conducting wires, there is a positive terminal, there is a negative terminal, there is an ammeter. We are concerned presently over here in that loop, which is represented by PQ. If you see on the diagram, the loop of wire PQ. On both sides, we have kept a cardboard with certain iron fillings on it. Now, a circuit is completed by connecting the various components as shown in the diagram. If the current passes through the loop, the magnetic lines of force are produced at each point on the loop. As we go away from the wire, the concentric circles representing the magnetic lines of force will become bigger and bigger. Look at point P and then look at point Q. If you see near point P, the circles are smaller. But we just learned that the intensity of the magnetic field reduces as we go away from the conductor. So as we are going away, the magnetic lines are also becoming, or the circles are also becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. Look at point P and Q. As we go towards the center of the loop, the circle becomes so big that its arc can be shown as a straight line. Slowly the concentric circle becomes bigger and bigger, and at a particular point it just looks like a straight line. If you look in between for the point P and Q, the magnetic lines of force are shown near the points P and Q only. However, they will be created near each point on the loop. Likewise, each point will produce magnetic field at the center of the loop. By making use of the right hand thumb rule, we can find out the lines of force at the center of the loop are in the same direction. The intensity of magnetic field at any point produced by a current flowing through a wire is dependent on the current. This means that if there are n turns in the loop, the magnetic field and n times of that produced by the single loop will be created. That means if you see that at the center of the loop, it looks like a straight line. It looks like a bar magnet, and it will be as strong as the number of wires or the intensity of the current. We just saw how magnetic field is produced through a circular loop of a conducting wire. Now we will be learning magnetic field due to current in a solenoid. What is a solenoid? When a copper wire with a resistive coating is wound on a chain of loops like a spring, it is called as a solenoid. In the previous topic, we learnt about how the magnetic field is produced around a loop of wire. Now, if you are considering n number of loops or a multiple number of loops, that is what is called as a solenoid, just like a spring if you can imagine. And they have a resistive covering around them. Whenever an electric current passes through a solenoid, magnetic lines of force are produced in a pattern as shown in the diagram. Look at the diagram, like parallel lines in between. We saw that in case of a loop, at the center of the loop, the magnetic lines of forces becomes like a straight line. You are aware of the magnetic lines of force of a bar magnet. The properties of the magnetic field of a solenoid are very similar to the magnetic field produced by a bar magnet. Just like a bar magnet, the lines of force in between a solenoid is parallel. The one of the open ends of a solenoid acts as a magnetic north pole and the other one acts as a magnetic south pole. The magnetic lines of force inside the solenoid are parallel to each other. What does this mean? This means that the intensity of the magnetic field within the solenoid is uniform everywhere. That is, the magnetic field in a solenoid is uniform, and the strength of the magnetic field or the strength of the magnetic field around a solenoid increases as the number of coils or number of loops in the solenoid increases. Force acting on current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. Look at the experimental setup. There's a stand, there's a horseshoe magnet. North pole and south pole can be seen. There's a circuit and the wire. One of the end of the wire is connected to the south pole and the other end of the wire is connected to the north pole. Now what do you observe? When there is no current passing through the electric circuit, the wire remains in a straight line. When the current flows through the circuit, the wire gets reflected. See position A. A is the position when there is no electricity current passing through it. When the direction of the current is going from top to bottom, the wire gets deflected and comes into position C. That means see the current is going from top to bottom. From top to it is coming down, that I can be seen, and here the position deflection becomes towards C. When the direction of the current is from bottom to top, the wire gets deflected and comes into the position B. Now suppose we reverse the direction of the current, that is we change the south pole and north pole. What will happen? If the magnet is kept reversed, that is the south pole is brought to the position of the north pole and its north pole is brought to the position of the south pole, what will happen? When the magnet is kept reversed, the direction of the force also changes. The wire is bent in the opposite direction. For current flowing from top to bottom, the wire bends to position B, and for current flowing from bottom to top, the wire bends to position C. How will you show that the force is maximum when the direction of the current is perpendicular to the direction of the magnetic field? If the horseshoe magnet in the experiment is tilted to some angle, then the force exerted on the copper wire will be less. That is, the wire will show less bending. If the magnet is arranged such that it is perpendicular to the wire, the force will be maximum. That is, the wire will show maximum bending. So, what do we learn from this particular experiment? From this particular experiment, we see that not only a magnetic field is set up, there is a force also created due to the passage of electricity or electric current in a conductor. In the previous experiment, we considered the direction of the electric current and the direction of the magnetic field and found that the direction of the force exerted is perpendicular to both of them. There is a simple rule that is related to all these three directions. This rule is called Fleming's left hand rule. According to this rule, the left hand, thumb, index finger and the middle finger are stretched in such a way that they are perpendicular to each other. If the index finger is the direction of the magnetic field and the middle finger points to the direction of the current, then the direction of the thumb is the direction of the force on the conductor. So what did we learn? To revise, we learnt about magnetic field produced due to electric current, and we also learnt about the force exerted due to the magnetic field and the electric current. So that can be shown by Fleming's left hand rule.